like Brianna Stewart and Sabrina Ionescu has broken their silence about this massacre they team just had.
The result was pure gold, as the reigning champs were totally humiliated on their own court. After losing by 14 points, Sabrina Ionescu and Brianna Stewart took the microphone. And they astonished everyone by doing something rather than offering an explanation. Their candid appraisal of Caitlin Clark's performance prevented any chance of discussion regarding the league's leadership. Did you find the Liberty Stars' graciousness in losing surprising, or do you?
The performance we saw from Caitlin Clark today against a team that started off the season 9-0, a team that is the defending champions, might have been the greatest women's basketball performance we have ever seen. That might have been the greatest showing from a WNBA player we have ever witnessed. That was spectacular. The shots she hit in this game, y'all, were something like I've never seen any other women basketball player ever come close to hitting. There are NBA superstars out there that I have not seen have a game with.
Setting the environment is crucial when you're seeing greatness become recognized by other brilliance. As the defending champions, the New York Liberty entered the game with a significant advantage in the rankings player. Rather, they received basketball tuition, so extensive that they were issued a certificate. After missing 5 games due to injury, Caitlin Clark reminded everyone why she is the most crucial player in professional basketball. A Netflix documentary might be filled with highlights from 32 points and 7 assists. Here's the worst part, however. Refuse to back down or make excuses. What took place? Clark received the roses she was due.
Like, we go on runs, they do as well. They're a great team. So I don't think it's defeating. I think obviously we know what a great shooter she is, and I think we just gave her too many easy ones. Obviously, she has great range, and her ability to get her shot off is really impressive, especially with missing some games. And so obviously on a personal level, I'm really happy to see her back out on the court, healthy, feeling good, because obviously it's important for them. But
however, despite missing several games, Sabrina didn't hold back from giving credit where it was due when asked about Clark's performance. She commended Clark's shooting prowess, range, and above all, her ability to make her shot in spite of defensive pressure. That goes beyond being respectful. That's seeing incredible ability when you see it, even if it just made you sound dumb on national TV. Sabrina, however, did more than only recognize Clark's powers. She was really pleased to see Clark back on the court in good health. Personally, I'm thrilled to see her back on the court in excellent health and spirits because, although it's clearly crucial for them, I'm also glad to see her again. It's not the kind of thing you say about someone you regard as simply another opponent. That's expressing respect for a player you know is exceptional. Sabrina's admission that they gave Clark too many easy ones was the most essential component of her remarks. Take a moment to explore it. One of the finest shooters in WNBA history is saying this. It's apparent that Clark's shot-making talents are so outstanding that even marginally open looks are automatic. You pay attention when Sabrina tells you that someone has a lot of range, as she's experienced in making 3-pointers from unimaginable distances. Although it came from a different position, Brianna Stewart's manner was just as. Stewart, one of the most experienced players in the league with numerous titles and MVP awards, could have easily taken focus away from Clark's performance by emphasizing refereeing or team faults. Rather, she accepted the fact that they were outplayed by a superior squad that night.
Reaction with one another. Stewie's laughing. Caitlin knows it's ridiculous. Just out there having a good time.
Throughout the game, Stewart's body language spoke for itself. Stewart was standing close to defend her when Clark nailed that logo 3. Rather than displaying dissatisfaction or rage, Stewart actually smirked and seemed to enjoy the shot. That's the response of someone who understands they just saw something remarkable, even if it meant their team lost.
We had our moments. We got back into the game. We had that run when Stewie was starting Caitlin Clark, but then they executed well, and we had so many breakdowns on defense, and they made shots. They really punished us on that end, making 17 threes from 35. It was just too wide open. So
attempting to protect Clark without leaving anybody else susceptible was a challenge for the Liberty, and they were totally unsuccessful. The background of the competition that media outlets have attempted to construct between Clark and other WNBA players is what makes her post-game words even more. Rather than contributing to fabricated drama or belittling Clark's accomplishments, Both Stewart and Ionescu chose to be forthright and offer their judgments of what they saw. Even the most prejudiced spectator cannot reject the tale that the game's data tell. The Fever's three-point shooting percentage was ridiculous. Professional shooters prefer to hit their shots when opponents are so fixated on stopping one player that they leave professional shooters wide open, and Clark is leading the charge, and her teammates are profiting from the attention she commands. The psychological effect Clark has on opponent teams is illustrated by Stewart's admission that they tire their teammates in an attempt to keep up with the Fever's attacking onslaught. Rushing shots and defensive lapses arose from the Liberty's sense of rush to duplicate the Fever's offensive performance. It goes beyond basketball. The transition game statistics from this clash were especially devastating for the Liberty, which speaks much about Clark's effect when the reigning champs are talking about having to look in the mirror after losing to a club that was written off without its hero. In contrast to their past troubles in that area, the Fever produced 19 quick break opportunities. Clark's ability to quicken the tempo and provide scoring opportunities before opponents can set up is directly liable for it. Stewart acknowledged by noting how difficult it got for them to construct their half-court attack and get stops. Ionescu's acknowledgement of their attacking concerns when they are unable to transition demonstrates how much their overall plan was upset by Clark's presence. The Liberty's reputation was founded on their ability to generate defensive stops that offer them attacking possibilities. However, the whole setup crumbles when the other team scores goals whenever they want. Clark's solo performance wasn't the only thing that outperformed them. She shattered their image of a team. The discrepancy in free throws throughout this game made situations worse for the Liberty. They were unable to match the Fever's offensive success, even though they got more foul calls. The fact that Stewart admits they didn't reach the rim enough demonstrates how Clark's presence on the perimeter made it harder to identify and take advantage of driving lanes. The Liberty attempted several defensive strategies to slow down Clark but failed with each one, which made the coaching changes conversation more appealing. They made all the changes. They experimented with zone coverage. They tried to fully deny her the ball. Nothing was successful. A player has moved beyond the confines of basketball when coaching staffs at the championship level are at a loss for answers, because they intimated that this defeat made them re-evaluate their standing in the league hierarchy. The Stewart statements on team identity and comprehending who we are were enlightening. Despite being the league leaders and reigning champions heading into this game, the Liberty left pondering whether they are indeed the greatest team when everyone is well. These post-game thoughts are given a new depth by the global vision. Both Stewart and Ionescu have played international basketball for their countries and are familiar with the highest levels of competitive basketball. Their appraisal of Clark's ability is more trustworthy since it comes from athletes who have faced the greatest in the world and are able to discern brilliance. What distinguishes excellent scorers from proficient shooters was brought to light by Sabrina's unambiguous reference to Clark's ability to make her shot. Making open shots isn't enough. When the game is on the line, you have to create and make shots under duress when defenders are all over you. Throughout this game, Clark demonstrated that talent several times. Stewart acknowledged defensive communication difficulties, but these weren't occasional blunders. They were directly caused by Clark's mobility and judgment, which prompted defenders to make hurried decisions that often turned out to be erroneous. Even championship-level teams start to seem underwhelming when one player can often put 5 defenders in uncomfortable scenarios. The tempo of play debate demonstrated how the game's general flow was altered by Clark's comeback. The Liberty are used to setting the pace and directing the course of games. However, Clark's presence drove them to adopt an up-tempo style that was more suited to Indiana's personnel and plan. Professional appreciation for Clark's influence on game flow is evidenced by Stewart's recognition of this. Making shots wasn't the only component of the shooting performance that won this honor. Clark's performance served as a reminder to both players of why he is seen as a generational talent. They demonstrated the sort of sportsmanship that strengthens the overall league by being prepared to give credit where credit is due. You know something is special when the reigning champs openly thank the person who just made them look bad. Instead of offering an explanation, Ionescu and Stewart complimented Clark for her amazing performance. How did you feel about their elegant reaction to being outplayed? Please click the like button, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more insightful WNBA analysis.